Hi, and welcome to another edition of the Actor Workout. I'm Coach Stu, and I am super thrilled to welcome today's guest, Charlie Storrar. Welcome, Charlie.
Hi there, Coach Stu. How are you?
Coach Stu. Charlie doesn't know me as Coach Stu, just as Stu. I'm trying to build a brand here. Yeah. Charlie and I go back. And I'm going to list a few talents that he has. And maybe, Charlie, you can just say check or no, I don't do that. Okay. So actor, yeah?
Check.
Musician.
Check.
Radio host.
Check.
Writer.
I can't claim to be a writer.
Well, okay, let me comedian, stand-up comic.
Check.
So
check.
Writer.
Check. Okay, I write my material. So
yeah,
check.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so I think we're up to 5 threats. Bon vivant.
Oh, I can't afford it anymore.
But the Charlie I know. The first time I met you.
Whereas in coronavirus, we can't go around gallivanting being bon vivants anymore. We've got to stay at home.
Or online vivants.
We're online vivants. That's what we're
online vivants. I mean, the first time I actually met you was at Chad and Margot's wedding, when you did that beautiful ceremony, and just I was like, this is a well-spoken guy, and you wrote that, and it was memorable. So I'm definitely
actually. I did not write that. That was the mother of the bride wrote that. My lines.
You made it your own. So that's back to the acting again. Hey, yeah. So some of let's say raconteur.
Yes, check.
Yes, and also a bit of an impresario, because you've put together quite a few different events for live audiences. You had the Story Slam.
Story Slam, yes.
Which I hope you can translate to the Zoom format, maybe. There's something.
That would be great.
There's a possibility. Also, your death panels, Charlie Storrar death panels, which were quite popular.
And, that's something I would like to bring that back from the dead. To resurrect the death panels. We haven't done one since 2015. That would be great to do again. Yeah.
And I think most impressively, back in the theater side of things, was your turn in Bomedy of Errors, directed by Brooke Hall. Tell us a little bit about that experience, what Bomedy of Errors was, and how that must have been a beast.
Yeah, okay, so yes, the Bomedy of Errors, this was a production going back to 2016, autumn of 2016. It's a hip-hop telling of William Shakespeare's The Comedy of Errors, hence the Bomedy of Errors. And it's all sort of told in sort of old school hip-hop. It's a cast of 4.
Yeah, 4 people to take on the entire tome.
Yeah, just a cast of just 4 people.
And a DJ.
And a DJ. Sorry, yes, the DJ was very important. We had a DJ who was like the 5th member of the cast, he had his own DJ booth that was like integrated into the set, and so he'd be dropping the beats for us, and look at me with a jug, and he'd be dropping those beats, and then we would have to go into sort of the rap portions of the script. But what was great about it, this is obviously the Comedy of Errors. It's about mistaken identity. It's a farce that revolves around 2 sets of twin brothers who are separated at birth and don't actually know of each other's existence until they turn up in the same city on the same day, with hilarious consequences. But a major feature of it was that each cast member had to play at least 3 different roles. And you were always having to run off stage, do a super quick costume change, and then run back on.
Yeah.
And so that's showed very early on in the play, where I run off as one character, the other character delivers one single line, and I have to be back on stage by the time they've finished speaking it. And it was sort of like there were audible gasps sometimes when we nailed it. There was you got a gasp from the audience about how.
Well, there you go. There's another one we can put on your list of artistry. You are a quick change artist.
Yeah.
Change artist. Yeah, I was blown away. Brooke Hall, of course, the legend that did try to or kept English theater going in Taipei, and we're around today because of it. Because if he didn't bring me back for a show, I probably wouldn't have ever considered bringing out my.
That's right, and yeah, I went to his acting workshops, and that's really how I sort of started to and then auditioning for his productions, and then finally getting cast.
Your experience as an actor doesn't predate your time in Taiwan, does it?
Not really.
An actor here.
Not in a full way. No, I would say anything else was sort of like going back to high school. So the idea of acting on the stage here was really through the lessons that Brooke taught. Yeah.
And today I think we're really going to spotlight how effective Brooke was, because I'm going to give you a huge workout today.
All right.
Okay, because I'm familiar with your work and I know that you can handle it, and so really gonna to push you. So out of all the things that you said check to, one thing that you cannot claim fame to is being an American.
I cannot.
Today, you are going to be an American.
Okay.
That's your first clue, okay? So it's tough. I mean, I just did a show where I played a Scottish guy, and I just went, nah, I'm not doing the accents. Just forget it. And I don't know if you can do an American. Just have fun with it. Be lampoony even, okay? Get your hook. And it is a classic speech from American cinema. And you will be talking to a large room of people trying to get their vote, but you are not a politician.
Okay.
But you need their vote. Okay?
Right.
Okay, so what I'm going to be doing now is you're going to receive a script in your email. You open it, you'll recognize it right away. It's quite famous. And then it's 3 pages long, Charlie, so pace yourself and try and find your cold reading tool and bring it out, okay? So,
okay. So you want an accent?
Yes, I want you to try and do as American right from the get-go.
Okay.
Okay, it is sent.
Okay, let me.
And I'll just introduce you and say action as soon as you got it, okay?
Okay, I'm still waiting. Give me 5 seconds to.
Yeah. Okay, so Charlie will be performing the classic Greed is Good speech from the 80s film Wall Street, where he'll be playing Gordon Gecko.
Okay.
And action.
I appreciate the chance you're giving me here, Mr. Cromwell, as the single largest stockholder in TAW, to speak. On the way here today, I saw a bumper sticker. It said, "Life is a bitch, then you die." Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're not here to indulge in fantasies, but in political and economic reality. America has become a second-rate power. Our trade deficit and fiscal deficit are at nightmare proportions. In the days of the free market, when our country was a top industrial power, there was accountability to the shareholders. The Carnegies, the Mellons, the men who built this industrial empire made sure of it because it was their money at stake. Today, management has no stake in the company. Altogether, these guys sitting up there own a total of less than 3%. And where does Mr. Cromwell put his $1 million salary? Certainly not in TAW stock. He owns less than 1%. You own TAW paper, the stockholders, and you are being royally screwed by these bureaucrats with their steak lunches, golf and hunting trips, corporate jets, and golden parachutes. TAW paper has 33 different vice presidents, each earning over $200,000 a year. I spent 2 months analyzing what these guys did, and I still can't figure it out. One thing I do know is this paper company lost $110 million last year, and I bet half of that is in the paperwork going back and forth between all the vice presidents. The new law of evolution in corporate America seems to be survival of the unfittest. Well, in my book, you either do it right or you get eliminated. TAW paper is doomed to fail. Its diversification into casualty insurance has not worked. Its crown jewels are its trees, the rest is dross. Through wars, depressions, inflations, and deterioration of paper money, trees have always kept their value. TAW is chopping them all down. Forests are perishable. Forest rights are as important as human rights to this planet, and all the illusory Maginot Line, scorched earth tactics, proxy fights, poison pills, etc. that Mr. Cromwell is going to come up with to prevent people like me from buying TAW paper are doomed to fail, because the bottom line, ladies and gentlemen, as you very well know, is the only way to stay strong is to create value. That's why you buy stock, to have it go up. If there's any other reason, I've never heard of it. That's all I'm saying. It's you people who own this company, not them. They work for you, and they've done a lousy job of it. Get rid of them fast, before you all get sick and die. I may be an opportunist, but if these clowns did a better job, I'd be out of work. In the last 7 deals I've been in, there were 2.3 million stockholders that actually made a pre-tax profit of $12 billion. When I bought the Ixtlan Corporation, it was in the exact same position TAW is today. I turned 3 of its companies private, and I sold 4 others. And each of these companies, liberated from the suffering conglomerate, has prospered. I am not a destroyer of companies. I am a liberator of them. The point is, ladies and gentlemen, greed is good. Greed works. Greed is right. Greed clarifies, cuts through, and captures the essence of the evolutionary spirit. Greed in all its forms, greed for life, money, love, knowledge, has marked the upward surge of mankind. And greed, mark my words, will save not only TAW paper, but that other malfunctioning corporation called the USA. Thank you.
Thank you. Damn, Charlie, you are American. Now we can put American. You're up there with House and all the other great Americans that are Brits that are coming over and taking American jobs and acting. Very, very impressive. Because you had no chance to prepare to be an American. You had to, and what, have you toyed with an American accent in the past?
Yeah, well, see, the problem is I struggle to do a generic American accent. And actually, I think when for accent coaches will tell you, you want that specificity, right? You want to...
Exactly, yeah. I was trying to pin down where your Gordon might be from, and I heard a little Southern twang.
Probably all.
Or were you trying to put him in New York?
There was a little bit there where I thought it could be New York, and so but then that becomes a caricature. I didn't. The voice I was imagining in my head was from Jack Nicholson more than more than Michael Douglas. Yeah, I can't actually think in my head how Michael Douglas speaks offhand. I can't remember how he delivered the words in that speech. So I generally tend to think of a particular actor in mind and see if I can sort of channel their voice.
Okay. I like the choice of not going with, even you dismissed the Michael Douglas option immediately.
Only because I couldn't remember it. If I could actually remember how he
serendipitously couldn't remember it, because then you'll get the problem with doing famous speeches like this is everybody's going to see Michael Douglas. It's a danger of using movie speeches for theater auditions, actually, because the actor has made it so iconic.
Yeah.
And so instinctually and serendipitously, you placed it in a different actor's spirit, and it was So I think that's something that people should consider doing when doing famous movie roles. Do not play. You're not making an imitation. This has to be your own. Right. And for a cold reading, just on the reading skills alone, right, and the oration skills, flawless. Particularly Maginot lines, right? We, as erudite, well-spoken people, if we were saying it, we might have said Maginot. We might have even put a French accent in, right? And soften the G. But an American would see Maginot, and that j sound. And that is instinctively came out. I was watching for that and how you were going to.
Oh, that was a banana skin there, was it?
Yeah. Something to slip on. As was, there were a few others that showed up. When you play it back and watch the first take, I'm going to tell you about it now too, so you can try and focus on your next take with it. Is the R's sometimes bleed through with it, a little hint of your Britishism. Propulsion.
Well, the R, yes. When I've watched YouTube videos of like accents, they will say that the American R sound it's just sort of unique to Americans.
Canadians have it even stronger.
And
I
Canadians
think.
as well, yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Then I should say.
If you don't have a boot or an A to go by, you can go by our R sounds. Yeah, R. That's a very Canadian thing. Yeah. But the British will soften the R. Yeah.
Yes, we are.
And so
we are non-rhotic. That's I just
rotate the mouth over the R sound. Proportion or proportion. Teldar. Yeah, and you say Teldar several times in the speech, and for the most part, I believe you got a good rich R. But there was one time Telda paper. So you'll kick him out more than I have, and I wasn't taking notes. I was just letting you free flow and play with it. What I don't want you to have to go through the whole thing. Let's focus on a segment that you were particularly attracted to.
Okay.
And then we'll talk about that.
Okay. Well, tell you what, you pick the.
Well, I definitely like the ending, the greed is good speech. Right. So let me bring my copy of it up as well. So. Okay, yeah. Let's just go within the last 7 deals I've made.
Okay.
To the end, and yes, you run the caricature of getting into the New York accent in the last 7 deals, you know. But let's maybe this is still rehearsal, right? So we can try things. Let's. He's not a Brooklyn street tough, but there is mannerisms and things like that. And I want you to also consider your body. So you're a theater actor. You're on the camera now. So every movement has to have meaning. So let's focus on stillness as much as possible, and then making movements clear and concise. A lot to think about. Okay, play with. You can make him a Brooklyn, forget about it kind of guy if you want, just to start to get into finding the right voice. Yeah.
Well, you know what? I think that the temptation there would be to go full Donald Trump. And you'd be like,
well, isn't Gordon Gecko an intelligent Donald Trump?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that.
Yeah. But Gordon Gecko is an intelligent Donald Trump, right? A successful Donald Trump, right? Trump would have studied Gecko's moves for sure. Yeah. So, but we don't know. I don't want to hear no Trump. I want to hear Charlie.
Yeah, okay.
Charlie from New York. So, in your own time, let's just do another reading. It's always, whenever we rehearse out loud.
Yep. All right.
On your own time.
The last 7 deals I've been in, there were 2.3 million stockholders that actually made pre-tax profit of 12 billion euros. When I bought Land Corporation, it was in the exact same position Teldar is today. I turned 3 of its companies private, and I sold 4 others. And each of these companies, liberated suffering conglomerate, has prospered. I am a destroyer of companies. I am a liberator of them. The point is, Ladies and gentlemen, greed is good. Greed works. Greed is right. Greed clarifies, cuts through, captures the essence of the evolutionary spirit. Greed in all its forms. Greed for life, money, love, knowledge has marked the upward surge of mankind. Greed, mark my words, will save not only Teldar paper, but that other malfunctioning corporation called the USA. Thank you.
Yeah. That was you feel a lot more American centered, I think. Yeah. And there's no gesticulating, a lot less. Yeah.
Yeah. No flappy.
None of that going on. The head's still a little bobby and weavy.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but you're not going to find that perfect stillness. What I'm going to push you towards is like picking out spots on your computer of who to talk to. You got camera right, camera left. Okay, those focus points. You've done the script twice now. You're going to be able to start to pick the lines up off the page and direct it. So that will also help with pacing. Okay.
Okay.
Where are you carrying the voice in your tool? Where do you think you're carrying it right now? Where's the sound creation coming from?
There were 2.3. I think it's in the throat right now, but I think
you're right. You're right.
I'd like it to be further south. I'd like to bring it into the chest, I think.
And I think the character development can help with giving him the power that he has. This Gordon Gecko, the best penthouses and everything. If you're in here, it's more wrestler power. WWE kind of, take that guy down. The quiet stillness, right? This guy is rich and getting richer. And this is his whole philosophy. Greed is good. I mean, who says this? He not only says it, he lives it, believes it, and he's deigning to share it with these people. I'm going to let you in on a little secret here, something you might not have considered before.
Oh, he'd be on Facebook. He's like, meet your new instructor.
Yeah. He's shifting their paradigm with his truth. He's shifting his paradigm with his truth, right? Shifting their paradigm with his truth. So there's power in this. And maybe your voice settling into your diaphragm and chest, and like put where your energy's coming from,
Okay.
Focal points, pacing, voice center.
Yeah.
Let's do another take when you're ready.
All right. In the last 7 deals I've been in, there were 2.3 million stockholders that actually made a pre-tax profit of $12 billion. When I bought the Ixtlan Corporation, it was in the exact same position Teldar is today. I turned 3 of its companies private, and I sold 4 others. And each of those companies, liberated from the suffering conglomerate, has prospered. I am not a destroyer of companies. I am a liberator of them. The point is, ladies and gentlemen, greed is good. Greed works. Greed is right. Greed clarifies, captures the essence of the evolutionary spirit. Greed in all its forms. Greed for life, money, love, knowledge has marked the upward surge of mankind. And greed, mark my words, will save not only Teldar paper, but that other malfunctioning corporation called the USA. Thank you.
Okay. How did that feel?
Yeah.
Critical
Good.
self-assessment. What do you think? What do you
I
think?
actually could feel myself. I'm actually addressing people right now. I picture them in front of me, not just reading the words.
Yeah. He's in the movie. He's moving around in the crowd with a handheld mic.
Is he moving? Is he in a boardroom?
Yeah, he's not at the dais, but I mean, you're not playing the movie. You're doing a speech on a camera on Zoom. It's a different medium. And yes, you should be picturing yourself at a dais delivering a speech. That'll take the stillness. So you have 3 points in
placement here with my. You get green is good. You can have a Ferrari mug.
I don't have mine, but I've shelved
I don't have
the
a Ferrari, but I have a Ferrari coffee mug. God bless America.
I've shelved all my Ferrari ones, and I'm in lieu of all my Avenger ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. So the voice. The focal points were successful to a degree. They were better than the previous one. The voice was still very much in the throat. Work. You can hear it barking out. Right. When you listen to it, you can hear it barking out. Yeah. But again, the American accent, for the better part, was very successful today, and you should be really proud of being able to, on site, do such a difficult speech and pretty much convincingly be an American. If people didn't know you were British and heard it, they would have to have a really strong ear to hear pretenda. I want you to watch in this from this take of the closing of the eyes.
Okay.
A bit winky blinky there, and so those focal points. And now remember that the eyes have to maintain. It doesn't matter where you're looking, just one of those 3 points, but keep those eyes open. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
The camera catches everything, man. So
everything.
Yeah. So what I would like to end with is one more reading of the last section, but without the American accent.
Okay.
Because this is actually, you know what? I'm going to ask your indulgence, because I think it's just going to be hilarious to hear this speech delivered in a British accent.
Okay.
Because it's like America is dead. You know, you're a second-rate power coming in a British accent. It's going to be just for shits and giggles, something fun.
Well, let's wind back the clock. Like it's 200 years ago. I'm an executive in the East India Company.
Yeah.
About all all my business activities.
So show us. We've heard your natural speaking voice. Which I have no idea what district you're from. I'm not. Oh, come on, I can remember his name. Henry Higgins. Henry Higgins can guess what neighborhood and what street you're from based on your accent in Pygmalion. But make him a TAW, I guess, right? The more screeching on the American ear. What's the most really, Queen's English, old school Thai.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. I think I've got it.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go.
From the top, please. From the very top. Let's give it a
very top.
Oh yeah. I want to take the whole thing with the British accent. If you'll indulge me, yeah.
Okay. I will indulge you, of course.
Yeah, Charlie. Charlie's a great actor.
I appreciate the chance you're giving Mr. Cromwell, as the single largest stockholder in TAW, to speak. On the way here today, I saw a bumper sticker. It said, "Life is a bitch, then you die." Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're not here to indulge fantasies, but in political and economic reality. America has become a second-rate power. Our trade deficit and fiscal deficit are at nightmare proportions. In the days of the free market, when our country was a top industrial power, there was accountability to the shareholders. The Carnegies, the Mellons, the men who built this industrial empire made sure of it because it was their money at stake. Today, management has no stake in the company. Altogether, these guys sitting up there own a total of less than 3%. And where does Mr. Cromwell put his $1 million salary? Certainly not in Teldar stock. He owns less than 1%. You own Teldar paper, the stockholders, and you are being royally screwed by these bureaucrats with their steak lunches, golf and hunting trips, corporate jets, and golden parachutes. Teldar paper has 33 different vice presidents, each earning over $200,000 a year. I spent 2 months analyzing what these guys did, and I still can't figure it out. One thing I do know is this paper company lost $110 million last year, and I bet half of that is in the paperwork going back and forth between all the vice presidents. The new law of evolution in corporate America seems to be survival of the unfittest. Well, my book, you either do it right or you get eliminated. Teldar paper is doomed to fail. Its diversification into casualty insurance has not worked. Its crown jewels are its trees. The rest is dross. Through wars, depressions, inflations, and deterioration of paper money, trees have always kept their value, but Teldar is chopping them all down. Forests are perishable. Forest rights are as important as human rights to this planet. And all the illusory Maginot Lines, scorched earth tactics, proxy fights, poison pills, etc. that Mr. Cromwell is going to come up with to prevent people like me from buying Teldar paper are doomed to fail, because the bottom line, ladies and gentlemen, as you very well know, is the only way to stay strong is to create value. That's why you buy stock, to have it go up. If there's any other reason, I've never heard of it. That's all I'm saying. It's you people who own this company, not them. They work for you. They've done a lousy job of it. Get rid of them fast before you all get sick and die. I may be an opportunist, but if these clowns did a better job, I'd be out of work. In the last 7 deals I've been in, there were 2.3 million stockholders that actually made a pre-tax profit of $12 billion. When I bought the Ixtlan Corporation, it was in the exact same position Teldar is today. I turned 3 of its companies private, and I sold 4 others. Each of these companies, liberated from the suffering conglomerate, has prospered. I am not a destroyer of companies. I am a liberator of them. The point is, ladies and gentlemen, greed is good. Greed works. Greed is right. Greed clarifies, cuts through, and captures the essence of the evolutionary spirit. Greed in all its forms, greed for life, money, love, knowledge, has marked the upward surge of mankind. And greed, mark my words, will save not only Teldar paper, but that other malfunctioning corporation called the USA. Thank you.
Oh, oh man, that's a hard piece, and you right there, and you the little trip at the end.
Little trip at the end, yeah.
Little trip at the end.
Well, I couldn't give you something perfect. I had to.
Yeah. Always something to improve, eh? Because it was pretty bang on, buddy. The voice was coming from the chest. right? It was reverberating and resonating and sitting in you very well. It wasn't croaking. That was, I saw them pretty much the moment when you remembered the line about being blinky. And then from that point on, your focal point work took on, and then once you put that inside, then it just became natural. Right? And so you're able to forget about that and concentrate on the message and the delivery. And I think if we timed out your first reading and this reading, this one would be a good 20-30 seconds longer because of the pacing.
Yep.
You know, so it was delicious in you know. I hope you found it that way. It was delicious to listen.
You enjoyed it.
I hope it was delicious to taste.
You're so greedy. You're so greedy, Stu. You're like, I want the whole speech.
Greed is good, man. Greed is good. But yeah, I want the whole speech except for the last 5 words, I guess. But yeah, no, Charlie, that was a hell of a good workout.
Yeah,
I hope you feel tired and exhausted after this.
Yeah, I'll probably take a little nap now.
Yeah. So what was the experience like for you?
That was a lot of fun. Yeah, that was a lot of fun, and I appreciated those were very, very good suggestions in between each reading. But yes, you gave me something to take on board and try and add to it. Okay.
Well, I also recommend going back and watching and being critical but not judgmental. It's really, really, I can't stand watching myself.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So the trick is you can learn from yourself. You are your best teacher. Right? So take a look at that stuff. This is a hell of a piece. You can take any segment from it and use it in an audition if you wanted to develop it. I think it's probably about a 3 or 4 minute speech. Not many auditioners are going to give you all that time.
Yeah.
But you can take the second half of it or something and work it for a good audition piece. I think you've got something. And congratulations, because I threw so many curveballs at you by insisting on the American accent up front. Right? It kind of took you out of your head and made you just tell the story. And by the time we got back to the British accent, it was golden. It was a really, really solid read. And I'm so appreciative of it. So appreciative.
Thank you, Coach Stu.
Coach Stu. So yeah. So is there anything that you have to plug? Anything coming up? What's on the horizon?
There's not really a whole lot that's going to be happening in the next few months, obviously, performance-wise. But hopefully, my rock band Fuzzy Wall will be back and performing as soon as we possibly can. So
you guys have a Facebook page for Fuzzy Wall?
Fuzzy Wall rock band. Yep.
Just search that.
Check us out there and see some of our old videos on there.
Okay. And if I want, is there any video of Charlie Storrar's death panel or the story slams out there that you can share?
Sadly, no. No. We had some raw footage from a death panel back in the day, so I don't know whatever happened to it.
Okay. Well, hopefully we'll be able to mingle in the basement of is it the Royal Art Cafe or what was the jazz place?
There is now a dedicated comedy club in Taipei, the 2-3 Comedy Club.
Is who's running that now?
Sam Yarborough, who's the main guy there.
He's a very funny guy. Maybe we should get him on here, see how the comic stands up to a theater crunch on him. Or
I think that would be an interesting thing to do. Yeah, I think you should hit him up.
I love mixing mediums and putting non-actors into acting roles, like Roma Mehta when we put her in White Rabbit, Red Rabbit, and I just knew she was intelligent and well-read, and she would do a great job, and she nailed it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah. Okay, well, I want to thank you again, Charlie. I'm going to make myself big for my extra here. I'll make myself big. Thank you, Charlie Storrar. Wonderful actor around town, and any casting agents out there, this is a guy that you should have on your set. You should work a lot more. Again, thanks, Charlie.
Thank you, Stu.
You're welcome. And for the Actors Workout, I'm Coach Stu. And if you want to participate, just send me an email at toesave@gmail.com. That's TOESAVE. @gmail.com. And you can find this video and all the others. This is number 8. And all the others on our YouTube channel. So just search The Actor Workout with Coach Stu and you should find us. Okay, thanks again, Charlie. And for The Actor's Workout, I'm Stuart Blatt. Bye-bye.